It's a topic many shy away from, yet it lingers in the corners of every conversation about aging. That distinct smell often associated with the elderly. Some call it the old person smell. But let's be clear, it's not a part of aging that we have to accept. In fact, 99% of that odor can be reduced, or even eliminated, by cleaning very specific, often overlooked areas. If you've noticed a change in your living space, in your clothing, or even in how others respond during close conversations, this video is for you. The truth is, this smell doesn't come from age, it comes from buildup. And the good news? It can be fixed. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed this smell in your home, on your clothes, or in a loved one's room? Drop a comment below. And if you care about aging with dignity, hit that subscribe button now. We're about to uncover the truth that no one else is talking about, starting with the very first place you need to clean. Secret area number 1, behind and beneath furniture. Let's begin with one of the biggest culprits, the space behind and beneath your furniture. This might sound simple, but don't underestimate its power. Odors don't always come from what you can see. They often come from what you don't. Over time, dust, dead skin cells, moisture, and even small spills can accumulate in the hidden spaces under your couch, your recliner, or that side table that hasn't been moved in years. And here's the truth. That buildup doesn't just sit quietly. It releases compounds into the air that slowly, subtly contribute to that musty, old smell. Many of us clean around our furniture, but rarely move it. That's understandable. It's heavy, and it's a hassle. But if you haven't pulled your furniture out in months, maybe even years, it's time. What you'll likely find will surprise you. Layers of dust, trapped pet hair, old tissues, maybe even food crumbs. All of these feed bacteria and mold, which thrive in darkness and warmth, creating that distinct, lingering odor we all recognize but never talk about. To clean these spaces, start by moving each piece slowly, one at a time. Use a vacuum with a hose attachment to reach the corners. Then wipe the floor with a lightly damp cloth soaked in a mild vinegar solution. Vinegar neutralizes odor naturally. If you have carpet, consider sprinkling baking soda underneath and letting it sit before vacuuming it up. But cleaning is just the beginning. Consider placing small sachets of activated charcoal or natural cedar blocks behind heavy furniture to absorb future odors. These are simple, affordable tools that can make a powerful difference. Have you ever cleaned under your furniture and found something shocking or unexpected? Let us know in the comments. Sharing your story might help someone else realize it's time to take action. And if this first tip has opened your eyes, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. The next area is even more overlooked, and it might be affecting the air you breathe every single night. Secret area number 2, inside closet corners and wardrobe cracks. Closets are personal. They hold the clothes that wrap around your body, the shoes that carry you through your day, and often, the memories of years gone by. But behind that sense of familiarity, there's a hidden problem. Odor loves closets, and especially the dark, undisturbed corners and cracks within them. Think about how often we open our closet doors, grab what we need, and shut them again without a second thought. Yet inside, humidity from the surrounding room, combined with fabrics, leather, and dust, creates a perfect breeding ground for stale air and odor particles. The corners of closets, the backs of shelves, and the tiny crevices between wardrobe panels are rarely touched. And that's where the problem starts. Over time, clothes that aren't worn often, like winter coats, suits, or special occasion outfits, begin to absorb and release a faint scent of age. This scent becomes stronger in closets that have poor ventilation or are packed too tightly. But it's not just the clothes. The wooden or plastic interior of the wardrobe itself can trap moisture, dust mites, or even mildew, especially if the closet shares a wall with a bathroom or kitchen. To refresh this secret area, begin by emptying it entirely. Yes, everything. Sort through what you wear and what you haven't touched in years. Donate what no longer serves you. Then, vacuum every corner, especially the floor edges and shelf joints. Wipe down all surfaces with a gentle, antibacterial cleaner. If mold is present, Use a white vinegar and tea tree oil solution to naturally disinfect without harsh chemicals. Once clean, it's time to protect. Add moisture absorbers like silica gel packets or charcoal deodorizers to the corners. Place a natural closet freshener, such as dried lavender or cedar wood, in a breathable pouch. And make it a habit to open your closet doors fully once a week to let fresh air in. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's hiding in your closet? Have you found forgotten clothes, or even noticed strange smells, but never thought about why? Share your experience in the comments. Others might be surprised how common this issue really is. If you're finding these tips helpful, don't forget to tap that like button. The next hidden area we'll uncover is one most people never think to clean, but it's closer to your body than you'd expect. Secret area number 3. Inside and around armchairs, recliners, and fabric upholstery. Let's turn our attention to where many of us spend the most time, our favorite armchair or recliner. These cozy spots are filled with comfort, warmth, and odor. Over time, soft furniture, especially those covered in fabric, acts like a sponge. They absorb the natural oils from our skin, traces of sweat, tiny food particles, and even airborne smells from the kitchen or bathroom. Now imagine this. You sit in that same chair every day, maybe for a cup of tea, to read the newspaper, or to watch the evening news. But how often do you clean it? Not just a quick vacuum, but really get into the crevices, seams, and undersides? Most people don't, and it shows. The accumulated layers of human contact mixed with dust and humidity slowly release a faint but persistent odor. This smell clings to fabric and becomes stronger with time. Even leather or synthetic recliners aren't immune. The areas where your head rests, or where your arms naturally touch the surface, are especially prone to build up, and many don't even realize it. To eliminate the odor, start by removing all cushions if possible. Vacuum every surface with a brush attachment. Pay close attention to seams, where crumbs and dead skin tend to collect. If the cushion covers are removable and washable, throw them in the machine on a gentle cycle with mild detergent and a cup of white vinegar. Vinegar helps break down odor compounds without leaving a scent of its own. For fabric that can't be washed, use an upholstery cleaner or a homemade solution of baking soda and water. Scrub gently, let it sit, and vacuum it thoroughly after drying. Don't forget the undersides. Flip the chair if needed. And for recliners, check the mechanisms and the space beneath. You'd be surprised how many people find lost items, moldy food bits, or even dead insects that have been adding to the smell for years. As a final touch, sprinkle baking soda over the entire surface, leave it overnight, and vacuum it off the next day. You can also use fabric-safe essential oil sprays, like lemon or eucalyptus, once a week to keep things fresh. Have you ever cleaned your recliner and found something unexpected? Or have you noticed that one chair in your home just smells off? Tell us in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're still with us, don't go anywhere. Our next hidden area is in the room you sleep in, and it might be the most surprising one yet. Secret area number 4, the underside and seams of your mattress. Your bed is your sanctuary, a place for rest, recovery, and peace. But beneath the soft layers and clean sheets, there may be a hidden world of trapped odors, dust, and bacteria that silently contribute to that old person smell many have come to expect, but do not have to accept. Mattresses, especially those older than 5 years, absorb everything. Sweat, dead skin cells, hair oils, even airborne particles from the room settle into the seams and underside of the mattress. Unlike sheets and pillowcases, which are washed regularly, the mattress itself is often left untouched. And that's where the odor begins to grow, day by day, night after night. It's not just the surface where you sleep, it's the bottom, the edges, the stitching. These are the forgotten zones where moisture accumulates, dust mites multiply, and mold can slowly form. If your mattress is placed directly on a wooden frame or rarely flipped, chances are high that these smells are locked in and being released into your bedroom air without your knowledge. Start by removing all bedding, then vacuum the entire surface of your mattress, top, sides, and bottom. Use a brush attachment to get into the seams. If there are stains or areas with visible discoloration, treat them with a gentle mixture of hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and a drop of dish soap. Spray lightly, blot with a clean cloth, and allow it to air dry completely. Now here's the crucial step. Flip the mattress. If it's double-sided, flip it entirely. If it's single-sided, rotate it head to foot. Then vacuum the underside thoroughly. If you see black spots or dampness, that may be mold, especially if your room has low ventilation. In that case, consider placing your mattress in sunlight for several hours. UV rays can kill surface bacteria and mold naturally. To prevent future odors, place a breathable mattress protector over it, one that can be removed and washed monthly. Also, lift the mattress once a month to let the bottom breathe. Even propping it against a wall for a few hours with open windows can make a difference. Now I'd like to hear from you. When was the last time you flipped your mattress or cleaned underneath it? Have you ever noticed a strange scent coming from the bed itself? Share your experience in the comments. It might just inspire someone else to finally check what's hiding under their own mattress. And stay with me, because the next area is one you interact with multiple times a day, but almost never think to clean. It might be the final piece in removing that lingering scent for good. Secret area number 5. Behind and beneath the toilet and bathroom fixtures. The bathroom is supposed to be a place of cleanliness, but ironically, it can also be a silent contributor to lingering household odors, especially the kind people often associate with aging. And the biggest offenders? The areas behind and beneath the toilet, as well as around bathroom fixtures that rarely see the light of day. Over time, urine splashes, condensation, soap scum, and bodily moisture accumulate in the tiny gaps around the toilet base, under the rim, and behind where the toilet connects to the wall. These spaces are rarely wiped down, and for good reason. They're awkward, tight, and often out of sight. But that's exactly why odor-causing bacteria love them. If you use a mobility aid or spend more time seated in the bathroom due to age, these odors can become more concentrated. Even well-ventilated bathrooms fall victim to this buildup if cleaning is only surface level. And the worst part? Because the scent develops gradually, many people become nose-blind to it over time. Here's how to tackle it. Start by moving any rugs, baskets, or objects around the toilet area. Use a narrow brush, sponge, or even an old toothbrush to reach into the base edges and around the bolts that secure the toilet. Create a powerful but safe cleaning mixture using baking soda, white vinegar, and a few drops of tea tree oil or lemon essential oil. Pour this around the base and behind the toilet, then scrub thoroughly. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before rinsing. Don't forget to clean the water tank's outer surface and the wall directly behind the toilet. Steam and vapor from hot showers often cause dust and particles to stick to these areas, creating a thin film that slowly traps odor. If your bathroom has tile floors, pay attention to the grout lines. These microscopic spaces are known for harboring bacteria and mold. A simple grout brush and hydrogen peroxide can work wonders. For older bathrooms with worn-out caulking around the toilet base or sink, consider reapplying fresh silicone. It seals moisture and blocks smells from seeping into your floorboards. And remember, replace any old floor mats or fabric toilet covers that may have absorbed years of odor. No amount of washing can undo deeply set-in smells in certain fabrics. Sometimes, replacing them is the best and easiest solution. Now I want to ask you, have you ever cleaned behind your toilet or under your bathroom sink and been shocked by what you found? Tell us in the comments. Your experience might help someone finally look in the place they've been ignoring. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of the curve. But our final secret area might surprise you the most. It's not in your home. It's something you carry every day. Secret area number 6. Inside your clothing, especially the underarm and collar zones. You might wash your clothes every week, maybe even iron them. But there's a hidden truth most people never realize. Regular washing doesn't always remove the deeply embedded body oils and odor particles trapped in the fabric fibers, especially in areas like the underarms, collar, and back of the neck. Over time, this buildup becomes permanent, and worse yet, it releases a sour, musky scent that clings to the body like an invisible cloud. This is often mistaken as just old person smell. But in truth, it's old fabric smell caused by trapped sweat, deodorant residue, and skin oils that standard laundry detergent can't fully break down. And if your clothing gets folded and stored without being truly clean, those smells multiply in the dark, dry closet, embedding even deeper. Take a close look at your favorite shirts and sweaters. Are the collars discolored? Are the underarms stiff or slightly darker? That's not age. It's chemical buildup from years of wear and washing without deep cleaning. Synthetic fabrics like polyester are especially bad at holding onto odor, but even cotton isn't immune. Here's how to fix it. First, soak the problem areas, underarms, collars, cuffs, in a solution of warm water, white vinegar, and baking soda. Let them sit for at least 30 minutes before laundering. For deeply set-in stains and smells, add a tablespoon of borax or washing soda to your laundry cycle. These old-school ingredients break down bacteria and body oils better than modern detergents alone. If your washer has a sanitize or deep clean cycle, use it. And if not, try washing your clothes with a few drops of tea tree oil or eucalyptus essential oil. Both have natural antibacterial properties and leave a light, clean scent. Avoid heavy fabric softeners, which often coat the fibers and trap smells rather than remove them. Most importantly, always dry your clothes completely. Even a slight bit of dampness in thick fabrics can cause mildew to grow unnoticed, and that brings a new layer of odor into your wardrobe. Whenever possible, dry your clothing in the sun. UV rays not only freshen fabric, but kill bacteria living within. And don't forget about accessories. Scarves, hats, and even belts can absorb and release smells if not cleaned regularly. Give them a check next time you sort your laundry. Now it's your turn to share. Have you ever noticed that one favorite sweater that never quite smells clean, even straight out of the wash? Tell us in the comments. You might help someone finally uncover the cause behind that stubborn scent. And before we wrap up, one final reminder. Hit that like button if today's video gave you even one useful idea. In our last segment, we'll bring it all together and talk about why removing these hidden smells isn't just about hygiene. It's about dignity, confidence, and aging with grace. You've made it to the end, and that tells me something important. You care, not just about how your home smells or how your clothes feel, but about living these years with the same dignity and pride you've always carried. The so-called old person smell isn't inevitable. It's not a part of aging. It's a symptom of forgotten spaces, overlooked fabrics, and hidden buildup. And now, you have the power to change that. With just a few small habits and a little extra attention to the places most ignore, you can eliminate 99% of that lingering odor and reclaim the fresh, clean environment you deserve. But more than anything, remember this: aging doesn't mean fading. It means refining, improving, becoming even wiser about the things that matter. If this video helped you see your space in a new light, leave a comment below. Share which area surprised you the most, or let us know what you've cleaned today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of wisdom, strength, and self-respect, one lesson at a time. Until next time, keep your space clean, your heart clear, and your spirit strong.